What is going on, pending boys and gals? What's going on, stockters? And welcome to our market review stream. Today we are joined with, as always, the Swinging Bull, but this time we also have Amma Gemma with us. How are we both doing?
Good. How are you?
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing today?
Good. So we are also live in the Discord as well as on YouTube, and we have a lot to talk about today. Just obviously, I think anyone who's on Twitter or trades crypto at all probably has heard about PEPE coin, at least by now. I know I've been talking about it for the past couple of weeks on stream, and we're talking about that. Of course, we're talking about Bumble. I know they had earnings. Apple is a big one that we're going to be talking about as far as earnings go. Coinbase, I guess Kathy Woods is still bullish on Coinbase. And of course, the job reports. But before we get into any of that, Bull or Amy, is there anything that you guys have been looking at today, or just anything you want to share with the members before we jump right into the news?
I have a setup I could share. Let me put my screen up real quick. I'll share my screen so you guys could see it. And if you're part of Premium, you already know about this one. I put it in Trade Ideas. But for everybody in the Discord here, I'll share my screen on Discord as well. And I am muted in the Discord.
Yeah, I was too when I did the intro, so it's all good. Amy is now unmuted.
Sorry, guys. All right, I unmuted in the Discord. I shared my chart.
Hey, Amy. You don't have to share your chart on the Discord because I'm sharing the StreamYard stream.
Okay,
they can see our beautiful faces and everything right now.
Perfect. So good to know.
Yeah.
All right, I will unshare there and we'll go from there. All right, so I'm looking at one that I think is a very interesting setup right here is AI, C3 AI. If we put on a little bit of a shorter time frame on this one, this is one that is meme stock-ish. It's known to push really extremely hard. And we're sitting at a little major support level here. We are attempting to break over the 1875 area. If we break over that 1875 area, we've got a strong liquidation zone all the way up to $20. We should move fast the way we move fast down. We should do the same up. So I'm looking at a nice little swing trade, maybe above $19 on a hold. You could take it, say to $19.30 on a day trade, up to $20 on a short swing, and then a hard rejection below, say, $18.50. I like a little bit of a short down to the $18 area and then the $17 area. So that's kind of a pick I'm watching into next week at this area.
Nice. I love those AI picks. I think everyone at this point is talking about either, if not PEPE coin and meme coins and those types of coins, they're talking about AI and anything related to AI. How about you, Bull? Anything you want to bring up before we get right into the news and all the gossip?
Yeah, I mean, basically today we got a lot of questions about why the market was pumping and things of that nature. And very easy explanation, you guys. All eyes were on the employment report from this morning. So basically what's been going on with the labor market is basically we were at a point where there was 2 available jobs for every 1 worker. Okay. So the idea behind this is the unemployment rate, specifically the jobless claims, which was Thursday's report. Okay. We want to see that number higher. The reason why we want more people on the jobless claims number is because the fact that there was 2 available jobs for every 1 worker. So that was the news that came out yesterday. And the jobless claims on Thursday came in higher than expected, which is positive because we have a shortage of workers right now. The data that came in today for employment, it was the employment report, okay, not unemployment, employment report, showed a very significant uptick. They were only expecting 180,000, came in at 250,000 employment report.
That's a big difference.
This is one of the problems the feds were having, that they had for every 1 worker, there was 2 available jobs, shortage in the labor market. It's kind of fixing the problem for the Fed. And that's why we saw a bullish move today.
Well, not only that, the wage growth also is better than expected. It looks like it was up 0.5% as opposed to 0.3% was what they expected. Also, I think a big factor, of course, is the end of the Medicaid extension for COVID. That happened, I believe, in March is when that ended. So people are now, looking to go back to work in order to get their health benefits. And people who were there was a big amount of people who end up getting off of the healthcare extension there for Medicaid when it came to COVID. So that also had a lot to do with it when it came to the jobs report. But anything else as far as the jobs report goes? I know that was one of the topics I wanted to bring up. I know everyone was talking about job cuts with with Meta, with Amazon, like all these job cuts, but it looks like we actually are adding jobs. So what does that look like for like the macro going forward?
I mean, the bottom line for the labor market with the feds was they basically wanted more people entering the workforce. So between the data we got yesterday and the data we got today, it definitely shows more people entering the workforce, and that's why we saw the bullish move today. So, I'm the type of trader, I don't really like to overcomplicate things too much, but the good data that we received yesterday, the economic data yesterday and today, that's why we saw the bullish move. That's the simple answer to the question we've been getting all day: is why is the market pumping today? It's because we have good labor market data that has not only came in yesterday, good data, but we had even kind of stamp of approval today on the data that came in today. So that's why we saw the bullish run. And yesterday, I mean, we were trading in the 403, 404 area. And, obviously today we're up to 413. So 10-point move to the upside on SPY. Investors definitely took the labor data very well.
So I know, just in general, you're the bull, had this big bull run, or just I say it's recovery almost at this point today after all that news. Speaking of recoveries, of course, PACW, the stock PACW, WAL as well. These are all regional banks that had a big hit yesterday. People were talking about, this is the end of the banking sector when it comes to these small banks. But now today they are back up, I believe. One's up around 55%, the other one 21% respectively. What do you think about these bank stocks? Any of these regional bank stocks? I know like the JP Morgans and these big banks are probably on the safer side, but when it comes to to like one of these smaller regional banks, are you worried at all these stocks that that have these huge volatility? Are you playing the volatility? What do you think about these for either of y'all?
I mean, for me personally, we just kind of got through the whole First Republic saga that was going on. Of course, JP Morgan took them over. First Republic is now trading on pink sheets right now, which is the OTC market. And so once kind of the dust settled with all of that, investors are kind of seeing maybe we have a short-term bottom on the banking sector here. And I think that had a lot to do with the low pump we saw on the banks today, especially PACW's up 83%. They were trading around $2.50 to $3 yesterday, and they hit a high of 622 today. So basically a double up there. They pulled back just slightly, still very bullish on the chart, and they're up about 83% right now at 581. So I think that's kind of had a little bit to do with it. Is there was a bunch of turbulence, last week and the week before with First Republic, which was definitely a banking sector scare. Investors are thinking, is there going to be any more fallout to come? But since the First Republic issue got resolved, a lot of analysts are calling out a short-term bottom on the banking sector. So anyone that entered long yesterday, they're in pretty good profits today. Right before the weekend, might consider maybe trimming your position, taking some risk off the table, putting some of that profit in your pocket. But I think that had a little bit to do with kind of the pump we're seeing in the banking sector, is because now that the First Republic issue is pretty much resolved at this point, as far as the FDIC and the Treasury Department goes, I think that attributed to a lot of the run we're seeing in the banks today.
Do you, Amy, do you agree with Tom Lee? Here's an analyst that says that basically the stocks, these banking stocks, have become detached from their fundamentals, most of the regional bank stocks, and that we are arguably reaching a point of hysteria when it comes to these banking stocks. So I remember people were saying that about like AMC and GameStop during those big run-ups. It's like you can't really chart that. What do you think about the actual charts? A PACW is PacWest, and the Western Alliance is WAL. Those are two of the stocks that definitely had a big hit yesterday. Big recovery as well. I can bring up your screen there if we can. Are these like stocks worth even looking at as far as the trade goes, or is this kind of like the I don't want to touch it, don't try to catch the falling knife type deal, or bottom bounce?
I mean, you play dumb games, you win dumb prizes. Let's be real. I'm not taking heavy positions in these. These are the type of stocks you need to play the same way you play the shit coins and in your AMCs and your top runners of the day. So PACW, 9 out of 10 people buying into that stock that isn't an algo-based trade has no idea what the fundamentals are. That's what denotes to me that it's shifting into a meme stock day trade type category. Even if it had the fundamentals and the setup that dignifies a long-term trade, because the majority of the traders trading it, it's on the horizon due to max FUD, and then that turned into max FOMO, and then that turned into it's all over socials, and then that turned into it's time to play this. We're up 85%. We already filled the gap right back up on this one. This is a pretty telling place that we're sitting at right here. I mean, so for me, it's no more than a day trade, perhaps an overnight. And you got to be careful with that, because every time, you get that halt, it might never come back. If you get a halt and they're getting a buyout or even absorbed by a larger company or a government buyout, you're done. That's it. 86, you're out. So you have to remember that and treat it like a meme stock. That's what it deserves to be treated like right now, because no one's looking at the fundamentals or the technology, anything like that on these. So,
and unlike these meme stocks, like a GameStop or an AMC, Dogecoin, a PEPE, these banks don't have like a huge like social media following backing them, like a Wall Street Bets behind them and type deal like that. So it's not like it's like that type of mentality either. I know one of those, I believe it was WAL. I believe the Western Alliance is the one that said they're not going to be looking for a buyout, but we will see. Speaking of just meme coins in general, I believe this would be a good time to get to PEPE coin. Amy, I know you were talking a little bit about it. Just what's going on with the crypto Twitter and these meme coins in general? I mean, right now, just for instance, it's Cinco de Mayo, and so of course everyone on crypto Twitter is talking about guac, taco, and chips. These coins, of course, meme coins, whatever you want to call them. I won't say that on stream. PEPE coin is a little bit stronger than these other ones that are just kind of coming out of the woodworks. This one, I think, is up probably around 100% from what I last saw today. I'm going to bring up your screen right there, and the most memorable meme coin in existence. Basically, they're saying that the dogs have had their day. It's time for PEPE to take over. No more Dogecoin, no more SHIB. I mean, PEPE is a very memorable meme. What do you think about this one? Binance and KuCoin just announced today that they're going to support PEPE. Market cap's going up and up and up. They have some rivals out there in TurboCoin. I know a lot of the holders from TurboCoin and PEPE are at each other's throat, going to war over which one's the best one, whether it be PEPE or the AI ChatGPT made TurboCoin. Let's talk about PEPE though. Amy, what do you think about this one?
All right. Well, I mean, a couple things immediately come to mind. Just looking at the meme at the website, even the website is meme. It's, PEPE is the Doge of today. I agree with that. And here's a couple of the things about PEPE. Of course, you have you have the war of Wall Street bets. You have half of them, you're getting a rug pull, talking shit, and the other half are acquiring coins, acquiring PEPE. Couple things I liked and I don't like anymore, because in our private DMs and over in Titan, we had, myself and Bitcoin Jay had bought this about 10 days ago. So, but the things that you have to consider now that make it highly unlikely for a rug pull per se is this. The volume is beating SHIB. All right. The market cap is almost at $1 billion. The coin's up 80% in the last 24 hours, but the volume is surpassing $900 million. 2,000% growth. What does that say? That says it's not time to get in it, because it needs to pull back either way, but it's too big to rug pull at this point. That's just the reality of it. 6% of the wallets the largest wallets only own 6% at this price. And on top of that, it's a multi-sig, meaning for them to do anything with these large wallets, it has to go through multiple chains of command. All right. There is some things that have come about in the crypto space since the Luna debacle. These stable coins crashing down. Of course, you're going to find a rug pull any day of the week. All right. But once you hit a certain place where 93% of these tokens are in the liquidity pool, those type of things, you have to take it serious in the aspect of it might stick around. It's not going to lose 80% value in one day. I'm hard pressed to see that happen. The flip side of that is I am not touching it at this price. But let's be real. Why was PEPE successful? Because every degen crypto person knows who PEPE is. That gives that extra little bit of hype and having to rush in and people flying in to buy it because it's something likable and identifiable. That's just the reality of it. Like the Dogecoin Shibu, the Elon rocket. There was a likability to something. It made it feel less overwhelming and less scary to non-crypto investors to invest in it. Plus, they were on their shit. It was over in MEXC, some of these exchanges really fast. So I think the combination of those really played a part in this one.
No, I mean, like I said, I'm all over crypto Twitter, and it's like every single like other post, it's just Pepe this, Pepe that. Everyone's bullish on Pepe. It's like you said, the fact that you said that, like, it's at a point where it's above where it could be a potential rug pull, when it comes to, like, like a whale, dropping, like, 'cause I remember when we were talking about Dogecoin back during, that big run, it was at like 70 cents, and everyone, we were talking about the Dogecoin millionaire, and he was saying hold it, and you were on stream, and you were like, I don't know, like, this is a pretty good time to sell right here. What's the biggest difference between Doge and Pepe right now?
Just where it's at. By this Pepe, and now I'm not making any claims of 30,000% of profits still to come. But when Doge was at this kind of price point and this level of existence, it was still unheard of. Pepe exploded out the gate. And just to put it into a little bit of comparison to you guys, all right? Tesla has, for trending, 163K tweets today. Pepe has 4.4 million tweets. Even FK Pepe, so the anti-Pepe, has 40,000 tweets, which is triple, quadruple everything else on the list. I mean, so that tells you right there. I mean, I'm trying to think back to AMC, GME, Doge. It rivals that as far as in socials, and I'm sure Matt would agree. It's insane right now. And that makes it kind of impossible to have a rug pull. There's too many people in it. This is a lot different than Shib Coin or Squid Coin, whatever that was called, Squid Games, those type of coins.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Because this one, you can see it is locked up. It's in the major exchanges. There's too much cushion at this point now, unless everybody and their mother decided to buy it and sell at the same time. We only have like 6 to 10% that's really in a handful of wallets that could really hurt you. So I'm not overly concerned at the rug pull, but this is not an entry, guys. I'm giving you that right now.
That's interesting though, because I know a lot of people who probably have big investments, or hopefully not big investments because it is a meme coin. But you know how it is with crypto and Twitter. They're probably wondering that because there are so many coins out there that end up being rug pulls just recently. As as soon as Pepe coin came out, it's like, oh, it's meme season, so everyone and their mother's trying to create something just to get it out there, make some money, and then run.
It's top 40 now on crypto caps. It's really tough to. I mean, yes, we saw something that happened with Luna, this and that, but it's not the right place for that. Even like GME and AMC, it wasn't like a true rug pull. It was something where you saw it coming down and you didn't want to agree with the facts that were right on the screen. So same with Doge.
Right. Yeah, those definitely. I don't think it was like like malicious intent or anything like that. It was just that's just how it works sometimes with those. It was definitely overextended. Like it was, but yeah. So I mean, you're probably, I wouldn't say. You say you're bullish on Pepe or
I'm bearish right now. I want to see about 30% pullback. I want to see some real pullback. The last couple pullbacks, I mean, the way this chart, I'll pull up the chart right now. The way the chart blew through resistance this morning, even I was like kind of shook a little bit. I can't even lie. So it is pulling back right now. So we have enough data at this point to put a little bit of a chart on it. Put a chart on it. Throw a fibs on it. Look at your support and resistance. So like right now we could see it picked up this little bit of resistance in this area here. It became support, so those type of things are really important. The volume's coming down. All right. So realistically, pop a golden fibs on there. I would want to see it, in my opinion. Sorry, the dogs are barking. Hey, no. I would want to see it in about this level right here.
Your dog's like, no, Dogecoin.
Right. They're mad. They're mad. So, and that's just the reality. We could shoot right out of this because if we put on like the 4-hour chart or the daily chart, I mean, the way it blew over this double top here and then the double top right here, which was this morning into yesterday, was insane. I mean, it had 100% move just in that part. So I'd say that, I'm not touching right now, but it's definitely one that's going to pay for a while and be around for a while.
And Fergie in the Discord is asking, do only crypto platforms offer Pepe? So where could somebody go ahead and purchase Pepe?
Sorry, I was muted. You can buy it at MEXC. MEXC. Binance is supposed to be listing in a couple days.
Yeah.
But honestly, for me, I think MEXC was really the first one that was like a major exchange. They're not a KYC, so you could buy, you could leverage it. High leverage trading Pepe is just insane. Make 20,000%. I mean, it's just, there's millionaires being made. So,
Oh yeah.
you know, and we're in shitcoin season. We had our
Yes.
super bullish Bitcoin push as the banks started going under this net a couple months ago. Then we saw Ethereum push about 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, had a nice push. And then the alts started coming in and we had our XRP, things like that. It's shitcoin season. That's the fourth cycle before we come back around. So it's really, you see these coins all blasting a little bit at these points. It's definitely pulled up other coins.
The Turbo Coin was another one that had a pretty a similar run up, and it's very, very similar as far as the social sentiment goes. A lot of people just talking about it. Beeple made a post about Turbo Coin, and then Elon Musk commented on it. So of course everyone's like, "Oh, it's going to the moon because Elon commented on it," and because that's how investing works apparently. But yeah, it's just I'm just curious to see how it all how it all actually plays out in a month from now. To see if the hype is still there. Do you see the hype still like maintain? Do you think it could maintain for another month, or do you see?
I mean, honestly, for me, it's definitely Oliver. No, sorry guys, it's definitely rivals SHIB last summer, but SHIB last summer when it had this kind of push behind it, it was already established, and it was about an 800% move, which is like all in a day's work, a sneeze for Pepe. So I really. Here's the thing. Pepe was one of the quickest coins I've seen hit these levels, not even safe move, nothing like that. It came from fruition to this point what was it, maybe a month now. So it shot out of a rocket. So at this point, you got to put something in perspective here, guys. Back in Doge, and Doge was on Robinhood at that point. Right. All right. And you were able to buy Doge on Robinhood January, right before the meme squeeze and AMC, and you can make 40,000% in about 8 weeks. All right. From a major exchange. So when we see that happen with a cap like Doge had at that point out of a major exchange, like Pepe's not there yet, but it could be. I'm not buying at this level, but we'll see what happens. I mean, you never know.
You never know. This is like you said, it definitely is the season for these meme coins. Yep. So I'm curious to see, how Pepe does, whichever ones end up coming up. But speaking just crypto in general, I want to we'll go back to the stock world. I know, Bull, you're sitting there like, what are we talking about? What is this Pepe thing?
Hey, listen, I have some crypto positions,
but not Pepe.
I don't have any Pepe. I got Bitcoin, Ethereum, got some ADA. Just kind of slowly building those positions. I actually just buy it through Webull. I keep it, I don't have any fancy exchange I use. Just slowly every month, I'll take a little bit of money and I'm basically been accumulating for the past year or two. So we'll see what it's going to be at in 5 to 10 years. This is just extra money left on the side that, I'm accumulating a crypto portfolio with, so to speak. And we'll see in 5-10 years, how much it's worth. So.
Right. No, that's definitely the safest. If you're brand new, way to go about crypto is just trading it on Webull, because
just get your feet wet.
Exactly.
Here and there, and maybe start off with some of the bigger, the bigger cryptos, like maybe start buying a little bit of Bitcoin here and there, a little bit of Ethereum here and there, a little bit of this here and there, and then the more you get involved, maybe another a crypto catches your eye that you're interested. You can see if there's any utility with the crypto. Those are kind of the cryptos that I'm after. As far as the smaller ones, is do they have utility or is it just a meme? Me personally, I prefer to buy crypto
that
actually has
no utility in Pepe.
No,
there's strictly a hype run, huh?
Oh yeah. But no, I mean, that's definitely the way to start off, though, I believe, is Webull. But then, once if you want to start owning the crypto and you want to open a wallet and have buy them off of exchange, it's definitely important to educate yourself. I know, Amy, you made a whole bunch of classes. I also have some videos as well, just going over how to make a MetaMask safely, store your seed phrase and the whole 9 yards. I know there's a lot of stock traders watching who might, be hearing about PEPE Bitcoin, and everyone's, making 340%, this, 3,000s of percent. You're like, oh, I want to do that. I want to do that. And then, you get a wallet, you just write your seed phrase somewhere, throw it away. You don't know how it works. That's just not the way to do it. Definitely education is is so crucial. Like, even more so than stock trading, I think, with crypto trading because of the exchanges and, the hack. You can get hacked, and I've seen so many different scams out there. I saw someone get their whole wallet drained, hundreds of thousands of dollars from downloading OBS, an app, a Web2 app, nothing to do with crypto.
And Matt, that was kind of behind my decision on just building it with Webull, because I do trust Webull. Okay, I don't think Webull is going out of business anytime soon.
Yeah.
Lots of people prefer Webull over Robinhood. So that was one of my concerns, though, Matt, was, do I go to Coinbase and start an account there, or do I go to like some of these exchanges that aren't really too well known that you can trade crypto? And that was one of my worries. Is this like, it's scary, right? So I wanted to make sure I went to a platform that I knew was going to be around for a long time, and that's why. And Webull actually has a lot of great crypto offerings. Amy can probably concur there. They offer what are they up to, like hundreds of different cryptos you can buy on there now, something like that. It's getting there. It's getting there. So that's why I did that. I just felt more comfortable there.
And that was that, and you had every reason to feel that way. I mean, Voyager was an extremely popular platform. I mean, FTX. Like,
that's our Silicon Valley Bank, Amy.
I mean,
do I transfer $10,000 to this exchange and it pulls an FTX on me? I was like, I don't know about this.
No offense,
so I sent it to Webull.
No offense, crypto snobs. Yes, not your keys, not your crypto. I agree. But for you crypto snobs out there that rip on Webull and Robinhood because you don't own your crypto, this and that, I feel a hell of a lot safer in there.
I feel safer with my money there. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, for the average crypto investor, they don't care that they don't own the crypto. They're not, you want the average crypto investor buying, or the crypto will not move. Because if every single person had to jump through holes, do a MetaMask, have a wallet, have a cold drive, cold drive,
all that stuff,
no one would do it. No one would do it. We are a generation of convenience. So if you could buy a little bit of freaking Bitcoin on Webull, do it.
That's what I've been doing. I'm like, all right, I feel pretty good there.
And I'm going to get hexed by the whole crypto community for that one.
I know. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but hey.
Yeah, I know crypto Twitter probably would have something else to say, but yeah, for those of you who want to do either or, we definitely do provide educational courses on both. I personally, I have crypto on Webull. I also have crypto on Coinbase. I know, just speaking in the stock world, and Bull, I'll let you bring up the Coinbase chart while I just talk about Cathie Wood. I guess she's still bullish on Coinbase. I guess that good news is company sales were up 22% from the previous quarter. Bad news is they suffered a 63% drop in total transaction revenue. But Cathie Wood is still betting the company, adding nearly 17 million in shares of Coinbase this week, even though they report a loss of 34% per share. So that's the news. What do you see on the charts?
My Coinbase, first thing before we go into the charts, my first thought on Coinbase is this last quarter was overreaction quarter. Everybody's like, everybody that doesn't know what they're doing, buying cold wallets and transferring, and I got to get on MetaMask. And we need to know people that didn't even know what they were talking about. We're talking about the tree, and crypto and, having your proof of stake and proof of reserve, these type of things, like not knowing what any of that meant. But I'm going to buy this cold storage wallet for my $12 of crypto. I mean, that was an overreaction this way. All right. Now, I'm not saying I like Coinbase. Their fees are atrocious. I despise Coinbase. But for, again, the majority, we've got a bell curve, and that middle 80% is not going to go through, VPN crypto trading or a cold wallet. They're just not. They're going to put a little money in. Why not? And it's going to be Coinbase because that's the company everybody knows. Let's be real. Binance in the US is a pain in the ass. All right. Binance sucks in the US. So it's Coinbase. So for me, that overreaction of the average investor learning the phrase, not your keys, not your crypto, and transferring into a cold wallet and losing that is kind of fading away. Now crypto has become magically safe with the banks being, this and that, all those type of things. So for me, Coinbase next quarter, I feel.
So, Bull, what do you see in the charts there? I think Amy's dogs are still mad that we're talking about PEPE coin and not Dogecoin.
I did see, something else that's pretty cool is you can buy crypto on Venmo and Cash App now. Did you know that?
Venmo, and yes, yeah, no, like they're making it super easy. Like you can buy it just with your Visa now on MetaMask. It's super easy.
Yep. So I thought that was pretty cool that crypto's being offered in more of these apps that are used by everyone. They're exposing a lot more people to it, because I don't think it's going away. I definitely don't think it's going away. But as far as the Coinbase chart, I was looking at this about a week or so ago, and basically just a simple Fibonacci off the last pump that Coinbase had from 50.77 all the way to 85.38. And that was basically in March, a couple months ago. So I was really wanting this $50 level to hold. It's basically the low 50s, and the price did breach to the downside below that level. And as of today, we've since basically gapped up on the daily chart and reclaimed that level, no problem. I think Coinbase getting over 58 is definitely going to be a bullish sign for me. And I think if it does that, we're definitely going to make a run towards the infamous golden Fibonacci, which is right around $64. And that's just according to the fib on the last pump that coin had back in March. Okay. So that's what I got on Coinbase. Again, for the bears, I was looking for a break to the downside of 50. And if it didn't recover quickly and still showed some weakness, then there would have been a great short opportunity there on coin. But it did recover the $50 level quickly. So that kind of mitigates our bear scenario there. Now we're back to the bulls. Basically, I'm looking at resistance around $58. If we can get past there, I think a move to $64 could be in play there. What you got, Amy?
Yeah, that would look good for Coinbase. What do you think, Amy?
I would agree with that for the most part. I think coin in general, and coin's another one. It had earnings, but it had 17% move today on earnings, which is insane.
Yeah.
It behaves like a meme stock. I mean, let's be real. Coinbase in 6 days went from $50 to $83. I mean, and this is a big cap stock. A lot of eyes are always on Coinbase. And again, I just want to make a disclaimer here. I'm not saying people shouldn't protect their crypto and put it in a cold wallet. I'm just saying there's in everything in life, there's the what we should do and what humans actually want to do. And most people, if they're putting a little bit of money in, they're going to go the easy route, whether it's right or not, So that's just my reality on it. I like Coinbase here. I like it a whole lot more above like $59, $60. Yeah, it doesn't look terrible, but we've got a lot of volatility. We could swing extremely bearish and extremely bullish. We're right in the middle. I don't like taking positions right in the middle. I prefer to, come down, test an area and come back and grab it. Like, I'm not comfortable taking Coinbase position in the $58 to $63 area, because as you can see, if you look at this chart, we've got a whole lot of shit to get through right here. All right. This is all chop. If you pop this volume, I love that Webull has this now. Look at that. It's going to be hard to get through that.
All in the middle.
All in the middle there, all the way across. So this area, it's probably going to be tough to get through that this time. We'll have to see, though.
That's definitely going to be interesting as far as Coinbase. I personally, when it comes to Coinbase, it's definitely a little bit more of shows a little more of the macros as far as crypto goes, and like say like a PEPE coin or some kind of meme coin. I'm very curious as far as the macros and just like the big picture and the scroll out when it comes to crypto, and not to get political, of course. But I just want to talk to you, Amy. I know that you are a crypto trader, been trading crypto for a while. And once again, not to get political, but Robert F. Kennedy Jr., candidate who announced he'll be running against Biden, 2024. Other political views aside, he was talking about crypto. Basically, he looks like he's bullish on crypto. He tweeted that cryptocurrencies are a major innovation engine, and that it is a mistake for the U.S. government to hobble the industry and drive innovation elsewhere. And he was talking about Biden's proposed 30% tax on crypto mining. So once again, it's not like who's right or who's wrong. I'm just curious when it comes to, because we always talk about election stocks and like how to play earnings. When it comes to the presidential race in crypto, what would I don't see him obviously beating Biden in this type of race, because Biden's the current president. But
Yeah.
what are some things that we could see if someone like Robert F. Kennedy was to run on the Republican side and maybe beat Biden, and we have someone who is like pro crypto? Is this like something that people are pricing, maybe buying a little bit here in 2023, anticipating 2024, or are we just not seeing that going to possibly being a thing?
I mean, that's a good question, because we have, and the overarching theory on this would be, conservative Republican good and Democrat bad for crypto. Joe Biden wants to put, what is it, 30 or 40% fee
30%.
on mining crypto, and then we've got well, a lot of different, but it's a little spread still. I see like party jumping. I see some Democrats who love crypto and want to keep it from being overly taxed, and vice versa on the Republican side. But for now, there's not enough. There's going to be some crypto policies coming. It's just crypto has a little bit of a buffer here because the economy is so effed up, because our government is so effed up. That isn't their main focus right now, when all our banks are failing, and we've got just such a divide in this country in general, and we've got insane presidential race coming. I can't see cryptocurrency taxing and regulation being a hot button issue for the election. So for me, it's a little bit of much ado about nothing till we get the next president in, or the second term of this president. I just simply believe it's lost a little mojo on the list of what's important, especially with the banking crisis issues. So I think you're in a little bit of a 2-year-ish bubble of getting that money before I believe crypto is going to be taxed harder than stocks. That's my thought. We'll see if that comes to fruition. The government, our U.S. government has one of the biggest Bitcoin wallets in the world, those type of things. And it's going to be a way to really, really stick it to people, the younger generation that's making a lot of money in crypto. So we'll see.
And I know that we are getting close to the 4:00 mark. I do want to bring up Apple. I know that's the big earnings that everyone's been talking about this week. If either of you want to bring up the Apple chart, or just just kind of say what you guys thought about the earnings that happened. I know they had their expectations. I believe they beat their expectations, but they had higher iPhone sales and lower PC and iPad sales. So I'm curious how that affected the actual stock.
I mean, they're definitely bullish today, right? I mean, I think investors, took the data positively, and I was bullish on Apple. I'm always bullish on Apple. They are innovators, and they're working on other products outside of phones, right? They have so many different other products like the watches and things like that. And it even talks about maybe getting into the Apple car, right, to kind of compete with Tesla and stuff. Don't sleep on that, okay? They have the money to do it. And I'm always bullish on Apple. I wish I would have grabbed a lot more of it when it was, around $100, and I failed to do so. I mean, they were just in the low 120s earlier this year, and scooped up a little bit more of it, and now they're in the 170s. So anytime they pull back, like they've done kind of this year, any pullbacks I've been trying to add when I can. But what a rally by Apple since January of 2023, from 123.98, and basically just made the high today at 174.30. So pretty amazing stuff. I love Apple long term. What do you think, Amy?
Do something, Apple. Do something.
Get above that
Your
top line there,
phones
please.
have had minimal changes for a decade. Like, do something, Apple. You're the biggest company in the world, and you are, in my opinion, failing catastrophically at taking the steps needed. You had the manpower, you have the resources to have totally overtaken AI, totally overtaken EV, totally overtaking charging, whatever it might be, something, because we're so stagnant in this company right now. I am not an Apple. Of course, I'm an Apple fan. I own Apple. I'm not an Apple fan of what's going on within Apple the last 5 years. Like,
They could do more, huh?
How many people out there have just quit updating the iPhone because after you do it 3 or 4 or 5 times, it's not enough to make it worth it.
Right.
It's just not, and I don't know
I
if
think
that's
people
my
are just
age.
addicted to it. Everyone's got to have
everyone has it. It's easy.
And they figured it out. They said, we don't even have to change this much. We'll just call it an iPhone 15,
True.
and they're gonna line up at the store to buy it.
You're right.
It's kind of a social media thing. Oh, I got the newest iPhone. And deep down inside, I'm better than you. That like, people are beginning to get this mentality, and it's not just with your iPhone; it's with other things too. But that's kind of the world we're living in. Everyone wants the new iPhone, and the only people that are going to benefit is Apple.
Yeah, and they spend less money then, so I guess that makes their profit margin really
absolutely great for the company.
That's true. That's true. But I just want to see something out of Apple. I don't know.
Yeah, something new. Give us something new.
Yeah,
I love it.
No, that's what Pookie's Revenge says as well. I mean, honestly, like you said, it's the same iPhone, just with a different number at the end of it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised actually that they did well, with the iPhone sales. I guess they're expecting 48.9 billion. They got 51.3 billion, which is a pretty good, pretty good beat right there. Especially when just smartphones in general, it says here, and the smartphone market has been seeing declines. I guess Qualcomm is another one that saw 17% decline. So meanwhile, they're seeing increases in their sales of iPhones. And like you were saying, Bull, they are getting into the car, possibly the Apple car business. But they also announced, they also announced that they're going to be unveiling their highly anticipated AR VR headsets soon at one of these upcoming conferences. So we'll see how that works. And also the wearables. Their wearables are also. I guess people don't want computers anymore; they want them just right on their wrists. So
yeah. I mean, think when the iWatch came out, like that first, like it was like that's when you get Apple stock, or when just the MacBook in general, and the iPad coming out. Like I want to see that innovation again. And it's not maybe I am old, but headset. I'm like, I want to see
time for something new. Come on, let's go.
It's Apple. I mean, they could finance anything. The sky's the limit. I'm not saying go pull an Elon and buy terrible companies with terrible, like Twitter and fly spaceships. Like that's not what I'm saying. But Jesus Christ, do something.
Well, I think we are at the 4 o'clock hour. Amy, we do appreciate, as always, you coming in, feeling the events. For those of you who want to read the rest of the article, we do talk about, and I left it in the Discord, we talk about Bumble. They lost their gains from yesterday. I guess Tinder's parent company also is announced that they're not doing so well either. But I guess they both are seeing more users. So I guess people are going back into the online dating pool with COVID and all the restrictions dying down. We have some other fun stuff on that article as well. But anything else from you, Bull or Amy?
Just final thoughts. Just wanted to touch up on the economic data being released next week. So this week was a lot of employment info, and of course the Fed meeting we had on Wednesday. Next week is basically inflation week. Okay, we got the CPI on Wednesday before the bell, and then we have PPI on Thursday before the bell. So basically next week is inflation week. So just be on your P's and Q's around Wednesday and Thursday. That's all. Other than that, I hope everyone has a great weekend. Yeah, go ahead.
If CPI data comes in not hot, meaning we match or beat just a little bit, my bold prediction is by the end of quarter 2, our SPY is above 435.
Okay.
We're through. Here's my thought process. We're through the big cap earnings for this quarter. We're sitting on quarter after quarter after quarter of hearing the same. I mean, just for me, I think we're due for a bull run, and I think that's when it could be. We should have pulled back hella harder than we have the last couple times. And then the opposite side of that is if these numbers do come in hot, 365 in the next 2 months. We're ready. We have consolidated. The SPY has consolidated for the better half of the whole year. All right, between a $14 range. Let's be real.
Sorry, Amy, we're goofing off about the chat right now in Discord.
Okay. We're comparing my beard to Duck's hair.
I saw you over there stroking the beard after Breckle said that.
I gotta go see my barber.
That is the bold prediction, though, Amy.
It's moving. I mean, we've been in consolidation for the whole year. We've been sitting in a range. I mean, we did have that dip down to like 379, but the better part of the year, we have sat in a super contained 12 to 14 point area. We didn't even get a movement off of our FOMC last week. I mean, or this week.
Yeah.
So I think we're due for a rip. I think we're due. Or a dip.
You're like, just in case. Awesome. Well, you heard it here first. We are due for either a dip or a rip. Or I guess we're not going to see any constant. We're not going to see any consolidation there, though. I guess is what we're calling.
Yeah,
so
we got to move out of that consolidation.
But so one quick, just once again, really quick for because this is upcoming for next week. You said what are those big events happening, Bull?
Yeah. So next Wednesday before the bell is Consumer Price Index. Okay. And next Thursday before the bell is Producer Price Index. So two key metrics that the Feds use to gauge inflation. So just be on the lookout next Wednesday and Thursday. Like I said, be on your P's and Q's and be ready for anything.
And then anything else that you're looking at for next week coming up, Amy? You're just ready for the weekend?
Nope, that's about it. You tapped me out. I told you everything I have in my brain.
All right. Well, then, as always, we hope to see you next time. But until then, we hope that you all make some bread. If you are a stock, crypto, or options trader and you're tired of losing money or not seeing the returns you want, you are